Hello sweet friends and welcome back. If you don't know me, my name is Ashley and I am a junior genetics major here at Clemson, and I'm just so happy that you're joining me today from my apartment in Douthat. And today I'm going to be doing a very exciting video for you. So my birthday is coming up. It's on Thanksgiving Day, and by the time you're seeing this video it will have already happened, but I'm filming it the Monday before my birthday. So I have the joy and wonder of turning 21 on Thanksgiving Day, but I thought it would be so fun to share with you just all that I have learned in these last 21 years. Of course, this list is not inclusive of every single thing that I have learned and all the things that I could share with you, but I just chose a few of them that I think just really encapsulate this past year of my life and a lot of the things that I've had to really remind myself and just grow in. So I was actually talking to my roommate and my best friend the other day, and she was saying how our birthday is like our own personal new year, and I had never thought of it like that before, but it just really changed my perspective and it got me really thinking, and I was like, you know what, I need to just spend some time reflecting on this year and what I've learned and the growth that I've seen since I turned 20. And honestly, like, the place I'm in today, I'm just like so proud of myself for getting here, because I honestly did not think that I would be in the place I am today. So it's just a really cool thing to take that time to reflect. And also, if there is something holding you back, like, your birthday is this chance to like step in to this new personal year for you, just like ready to be that person that God desires for you to be. So I am here to be your personal hype woman if you need me to. But I'm gonna go ahead and jump into these 21 things that I have had to learn over the past 21 years. So, number one is you matter too. I have had to teach myself this as a people pleaser. I honestly still teach myself this every single day, but your feelings, your thoughts, the dreams that you have, all of those things, they matter just as much as the person who is in your friend group, or your boyfriend, your best friend, your mom, whoever it is. You matter too. So just don't forget that your dreams and everything that just makes you who you are is so special, and it's important for you to see yourself the same way that you see others. So you matter too. Number two is taking time for yourself is okay. It's okay to decline an event. It's okay to say you don't have time for something, whether that's a club or, you know, a meeting, or your friends want to get together during a super busy week. It's okay for you to say, you know what, I just don't have the time in my schedule right now. I need to take some time for myself. So take some time, read a book, whatever it is that you need to do to just refresh, get your mind set and ready to take on the week. It's okay to take time for yourself. Number three goes along with number one, and you don't have to please everybody. It is not your job to make every single person in this whole world happy, and that is okay. Jesus was not liked by a lot of people, but he was still a really good and genuine man, and you are still a good and genuine person regardless of whether or not people like you. You don't need their approval because God already loves you. And if there's nobody else, I can tell you personally that I am here for you and I am cheering you on. But just know that your God, he is so much higher than all of those people, all of those opinions. Those are just null and void. So it's not your job to walk around every day trying so hard to please everybody else. And that includes yourself. So you don't have to make everybody happy, and you don't have to sacrifice yourself for that. So just remember to go be completely you. That's like the whole point of this channel, to just go live vulnerably and authentically and not worry about what everybody else has to say about it. Number four is you can't do it on your own. This is something that was very difficult for me to learn, but I also learned this very soon, like all at one time in just this past month really. So for one, you aren't ever supposed to do anything on your own. If you do want to have success in life, that's going to require you to have a relationship with God, and that's going to require you to lean on him for help, because you just can't carry all of those things. You can't carry the worries, the fears of the future, and when things go wrong, you can't carry that all by yourself. But you also need people and community in your corner to cheer you on and point you back to the person that you are. In this past year, I would not have been able to accomplish a lot of the things that I did if I did not have a very strong community here to cheer me on and to just remind me of what my purpose here was, and just to honestly give me the confidence in myself that I was lacking. But also, I would not be able to be here today if it wasn't for God. If I didn't have trust and reliance in him, I would never ever be able to sit here in front of this camera talking to you as an introvert, because I just have a lot to say and many stories to tell, but I don't think that I would ever be here if it wasn't for God. So just remember, you can't do everything on your own. Number 5, fostering relationships or memories is more important than getting an A in that class. It's more important than getting an A on that next exam. And you might be like, Ashley, whoa, like, you're a STEM major, you know what it's like. And yes, I do. I know that grades are important, and I'm not saying that like we should go fail our classes. But what I am saying is we have to learn balance in this life. There's a give and take to everything that we do. And when it comes to classes, there's a certain extent that you can study for something and do well. But there's also a certain extent to where you just are going that extra mile, and that's great. You want to go that extra mile. But for me, I just realized that I wasn't a happy person if I was spending all my time on my education and all of my time on work and studying. You have to have a balance so that you can go into studying and work stronger and more confident and ready to work, because you're looking forward to these things that you get to do with your friends. And also, like, at the end of this, when I graduate from college, like, I'm not gonna look back and be like, remember when I got that A in Stat 3300? Like, I'm not gonna remember that, and none of my friends are gonna remember that. But what I am gonna remember is the time that I went to brunch with my bear group, or the time that a bunch of my friends were here in this apartment dreaming up our superhero comic book we were gonna make, or going downtown to get some dinner together and just laughing, going to the movies. All of those moments are the things that I'm gonna remember, and it's the things they're gonna remember. Those conversations that we had is also what allows me to grow as a person, and there would be a lot less growth in my life if I wasn't surrounded by community. I do want to say also, if you feel like you don't have a really strong community yet, that is another thing that you will learn, and hopefully I can talk about a little bit more in this. But don't be discouraged if you don't have a strong community yet. I promise you, people will come. If you were just yourself and just go about your day doing the best to serve other people, I promise you that God is going to bring people into your life if that's something that you desire. Number 6 is to find joy in the small things. I had let this one go for a little while, and I noticed that I was finding joy in a lot of really big moments in my life, but it can be really easy also to find joy in the little things. And just the other day, I was putting some ice cubes in some water, and they were like crackling because they kind of crack because the water temperature is different. And I was just like, you know what? Crackling ice makes me smile, and it just brings joy to my day. Or walking outside and seeing the leaves change and just like fall, it just makes me smile. So just remember to really like cherish and take in those small moments that bring you joy. 7 is to make time for things that you love. Making time for things that you love is so important. So if you have a passion, if you have any dream at all, anything that you want to go start, I am telling you, go make some time for that to happen. Whether you have to actually schedule out time in your planner for them, or you just get up an hour earlier in the morning, go make those things happen. Make time for it, because you are going to be a much happier and better person if you do that. Number 8 is friendships require work. So I definitely had to learn this year, that friendship isn't something that just happens overnight. It doesn't happen just because you go get coffee together or you had one really good conversation. Friendship is going to require time, and it's going to require effort, and it's going to require some extent of grace. So just remember that you're going to have to make time to also plan things with this person. You're going to have to sacrifice, honestly, some of your time to have conversations with them. It requires vulnerability on both ends. So just know that friendship isn't something that's just super simple and easy and whimsical like it seems on TV or based on the Instagram photos you see. True friendship takes work. Number 9 is a hard one that I had to learn this year, and that's that breakups are hard. Breakups maybe aren't hard for everybody, but most breakups are difficult. And I think something people don't realize is that breakups can also be really hard for the person doing the heartbreaking. So for me, I was somebody who did have to break up with someone this year, and it's something that I really had to learn, that breaking up with somebody, it's a very hard thing to do. It takes a lot of confidence in yourself, and it's hard to do because you don't want to hurt people, and there's just so many things that go into it. So breakups are really hard, but they can also be really beautiful and just allow you to really grow. So I've learned this year that they are very difficult, but there's definitely a light at the end of this tunnel, and it's this beautiful chance for you to grow into the person that God has for you. And I just think that that's so sweet. Number 10 is that people change, so don't take it personally. I think that it can be hard when friends or friendships kind of like fall away. So you were close with someone at one point and now maybe you're not really, or whatever it may be. And even it can work in the other direction of, oh, well, we weren't really friends after high school, but now we're reconnecting, whatever it may be. I think that it's important to recognize that sometimes people just change. So it doesn't mean that that person didn't like you. It doesn't mean that you weren't good friends, that you didn't have a good time together. Nothing about that is invalidated. It's just people change. We go through different seasons of life. So it's totally okay. Don't take it personally. Number 11 is that your journey is your own. So don't try to make it like everyone else's. This was a big one, especially being a college student. I think it's something that I struggled with for like the first 2 years of college. You have this vision and this idea of what college is supposed to be like, or what I'm supposed to be like as a college student. There's certain standards, and there's a lot of standards just in general in life about a lot of things. But I think it's important, and something that I've really had to learn is that this is my life, and my life is so unique. My journey is so unique, and it's designed that way by God for a reason. So I need to stop trying to take control and stop trying to go down this very specific path that I think is right for me. So just know that you are on your own path, doing your own thing, living your best life, and that is okay. So along with that, number 12, college is not necessarily the best 4 years of your life. In fact, I would argue that it's probably not. So even if you have an amazing college experience, there's just so much that this life has to offer, and so many amazing things that we get to experience, and college is a huge part of that. College is a huge time for us to get to grow and meet friends and learn independence and just so many amazing things. But there's also a lot of hard things in college. There's a lot of things we have to overcome. There's a lot of fear and anxiety that we have to deal with. And personal development and growth is not something that's like super easy to do or achieve. So don't put like everything on that college is the best 4 years of your life. Because also, like, then what happens after college? Like, I don't want to go out into the world and be like, oh, well, the good parts of my life are over. So I just challenge you to make every single year better than the last, whatever that looks like for you. So stepping into this new year for me, keeping that in mind. 13, this is something that I had addressed kind of from before, is that finding friends is difficult, but you will get there eventually. So something I had to learn was that finding friends is not easy. And I think, you know, we all are like, well, I'm so loving and caring and I want to serve other people. Like, why do I not have these friends? Like, it's just, it's a really, really challenging thing to wrap your head around. The thing to recognize in all of this is that it will be challenging when you go to a new place, not even just in college, but just in life, to meet new people and to meet people you connect with. And I think that's the biggest thing there is there's a lot of people in your life and you might have a lot of friends, but you're not necessarily feeling like you're connecting to any of them. And it's because finding true, genuine friends is a really difficult thing to do. It's hard to find those people to have in your corner who are supporting you in the best way. But if that is a desire of your heart, like, God does not let that go unnoticed. And if you just continue to show up every day as yourself, serving others, I promise you, you will find community. But one big part of that is like definitely putting yourself out there. So don't be afraid to do that. Number 14 is eat the ice cream. I am definitely a health nut, but it's hard for me sometimes to learn that it's okay to just go with your friends and enjoy a cup of ice cream, or to go get dinner with your friends one night. Just go enjoy your life in college. Definitely don't like overindulge yourself, but this is a time for you to have fun. Don't punish yourself for those things. Just enjoy the memories. Number 15 goes along with that, and it's don't obsess over the way that you look, but worry about your heart. So I think it's so important, and this is something that's hard for me to learn, or has been hard for me to learn, but I was taking time, you know, 30 to 40 minutes a day to exercise, making sure I'm eating right, and just putting so much effort on that. But one day I sat down and I felt very convicted. I was like, you know what, how much time am I spending working on my heart? Because that's the thing that's most important. And honestly, when someone looks at me, like, I don't want you to look at me and be like, oh, she's so pretty. Like, I want you to look at me and be like, her heart is just so pure. She is so humble and full of joy. Like, those things are the things that matter, and like, those are the things we want to be remembered by. So I challenge you to stop focusing so much on your appearance, because honestly, even according to the word, it isn't nearly as important as the person that you are inside, that personality that is unique to you. Number 16 is to learn from your mistakes. So this is a big one that I struggle with. So I have a really hard time admitting to mistakes and then learning from them. A lot of times I think that if, oh, the next time will be different, like all these different things, but the truth of the matter is that we just have to learn from our past mistakes. You have to learn to just forgive yourself for whatever you did. Forgiveness is important. And just move on and learn from whatever happened, especially like if you do bad on an exam, it's okay. Just take a breath, learn from it, and do something about it to make a difference. 17 is to put yourself out there and take risks. So if you're just living your life comfortably, you're never going to experience a lot of the big things that God has for you. So I just really challenge you to put yourself out there, do things that make you a little uncomfortable, a little scared, and you'll just find that so much good happens from those moments where we are stepping outside of our comfort zone. And that doesn't mean like, oh, I need to go to this like big college party because that was out of my comfort zone. Like, no. I'm talking about like leading a Bible study. Like for me, that was like a little, oh, I don't know, like I'm a little new in my faith. It's something that has like really only developed in the past 3 years, and even like talking about it now on camera is just so strange, and I'll have to do a whole different video about that. But for me, that was something that was scary and uncomfortable, but I took a risk, and so much good, amazing things have come from that. So number 18 is to listen to what God is calling you to do. This is so important. Like, I honestly think this is like the most important one of all of them. And this is something I learned this year within like the past 2 months. So there's a lot of times we feel that God is calling us to do something. We feel that little tug to step into something, to step out of something. Especially if you're feeling convicted about something, it's important to listen to that. And I know that people say, like, if you listen to what God has to say and you follow God, like, you're gonna step into like so many blessings. And like, I believed that, but I wasn't really sure what that would mean or look like. But I had talked about relationships before, and for a long time, I just felt really convicted that the relationship I was in was just not from God, and it was something that God was just calling me to step out of. But for me, that was really scary because this person meant a lot to me, and our relationship meant a lot to me, and I didn't want to hurt anybody, and it was just a lot of things. But I ultimately was like, okay, well, this is something that like God is calling me to do, and it would be wrong of me to ignore it for both of our sakes. So I stepped into that and I listened, and I just wish I could tell you all the amazing things and blessings that have happened in my life since I made that decision. And no, it's not like in the form of a new guy or anything like that, because to me that wasn't what was important. Like, this is giving me time to work on the things that are important to me, to read my little book at night, like whatever it may be. But I just feel like God blesses us in so many other ways. Like, I have seen my confidence in myself and my voice and just so many things really just excel since then. So number 19 is that decisions are not as important as they seem. I have a really hard time making decisions because I put a lot of weight onto them, but it's really important to recognize that the decisions you make are not the end of the world, and ultimately you can't ruin God's plan for your life. So just go make a decision, do what you think's best, pray about it, and then move on. Number 20 goes along with that, and it's whatever you do or whatever it is, pray about it. So I know this past year, I think anytime that I had a decision, anytime that I was worried about something, it can be so easy to fall into this like panic mode of like, oh my gosh, like what do I do? What does this mean for my future? Like, am I making the right decision? I don't know, maybe I should do this. But if you just stop for a second and you just pray about it, I promise you it's gonna be so much better. So that's another big one that I've learned this year. It's just when I need help and when I feel lost, when I don't know the answer, pray about it. Our last one, number 21. This one is one that I'm very proud to have learned over the years, and it's something that I'm just so thankful that I'm able to implement moving forward, and it's something that I hope that you see in these videos, and I hope that you see through my Instagram account and just through how I live my life. And it is that honesty and humility will get you far. So when you're just honest with yourself and honest with people in your life and just vulnerable with them about what's really happening, you're going to see that people are attracted to honesty. People are attracted to vulnerability, and they want to be around somebody who tells them the hard truth and can be trusted. And I have really valued honesty in my friends, and I have felt the value of honesty in the groups that I've been in. But also humility is such a big thing. When we step into relationships as humble people, when we step into rooms as humble people, into groups as humble people, whatever it may be, you just see so much transformation in that space, because you aren't looking at yourself as better than anybody else, but you're looking at yourself as equal, and you're looking at yourself as, I'm a sinner. Like, I'm a sinner, you are a sinner, and we've all made mistakes. We all don't deserve to be here, but we are. And we're just trying to get through this life together. And so I just think honesty and humility, they're gonna get you so far. Friends are going to be attracted to you. You are going to be a better version of yourself, and you're just gonna see so many blessings come from that. That's all for me. I hope you enjoyed these 21 things that I have learned in my 21 years of life. I would love to know which one of these things is your favorite. If you have any things that you have learned in your years of life, we are all wise counsel, so I would love to learn from you and hear something that you have learned even in this last year or these last few months. So please go comment down below with your favorite, comment down below your own personal growth that you have seen in this past year. And if you want more encouragement and just joy in your day, in your Instagram feed, please go follow at dear_little_sis. And of course, follow this account, subscribe, hit that notification bell, because I would love to continue to build community with you and continue to share what God has on my heart. So that's enough of me talking. I hope you enjoyed this video. And of course, as always, remember to go live boldly, fearlessly, and authentically you. I love you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.